For as long as we've taken to the skies, speed has been the ultimate test of power. Every fighter, every engine, every scrap of metal has been part of one relentless chase to go faster than the last. Engineers and test pilots risked everything to push machines beyond what anyone thought possible. Some of those jets became legends, others were buried in failure and fire. But together, they tell the story of how far we'll go to shave a few more seconds off the impossible. These are the fastest fighter jets ever built, and how each generation changed the meaning of speed. When Britain built the English Electric Lightning, it wasn't aiming for subtlety. Its design was radical, with two Rolls-Royce Avon engines stacked vertically, giving it a thrust-to-weight ratio so high that pilots joked it could climb like a missile. The Lightning could reach Mach 2.0 and soar to 60,000 feet in under 3 minutes, faster than any Western aircraft of its era. Its climb rate was so aggressive that radar operators sometimes lost track of it before it reached interception altitude. But the jet's greatest strength was also its weakness. With a combat radius of barely 300 miles, pilots said it had enough fuel for takeoff, attack, and return. Its mission was pure defense. Armed with two 30mm cannons and Firestreak missiles, it was the UK's first true supersonic guardian during the Cold War. It couldn't fight long or far, but for a few precious minutes, nothing on Earth could catch it. If the Lightning was the West's pride, the MiG-21 Fishbed was the Soviet Union's answer, and ultimately, the most produced supersonic fighter in history. More than 11,000 units were built, serving in over 50 countries. It was small and terrifyingly fast, reaching Mach 2.05 and climbing above 55,000 feet. The MiG-21's design was a delta wing, a single Tumansky engine, and a radar-guided nose intake. It was cheap to maintain and repair and could take off from short, rough airstrips. In Vietnam, MiG-21 faced F-4 Phantoms and shocked American pilots with their agility. In the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971 and the Arab-Israeli conflicts, the Fishbed became a Cold War icon. While generations of aircraft have come and gone, hundreds of MiG-21s still guard the skies today. Two General Electric J79 engines gave it Mach 2.23 top speed and a climb rate that broke 16 world records, including one that sent it to 98,000 feet in just over 3 minutes. It was a massive 60,000-pound twin-seat monster capable of carrying 8 tons of weapons. Originally built as a U.S. Navy interceptor, the Phantom quickly became an all-purpose war machine. It was used as a bomber, recon platform, air superiority fighter. In Vietnam, it became the face of American air power. Its radar system could track enemies beyond visual range, and its missiles brought a new era of long-range kills. But it wasn't perfect. Early versions had no internal cannon because engineers thought dogfighting was obsolete. When missile systems failed, pilots found themselves out of options. That mistake led to the return of the gun. Before moving forward, here's a question for you. Do you think radar stealth will eventually matter more than speed, or will hypersonic fighters bring speed back into focus? Let us know your insights in the comments below, and we'll get back to it at the end of the video. The MiG-23 Flogger took a bold new approach: variable geometry. Its wings could sweep from 16 degrees to 72 degrees, transforming from wide and stable for takeoff to sleek and swept for Mach 2.35 flight. Powered by a Tumansky R-29 engine with nearly 29,000 pounds of thrust, it was the first Soviet fighter with a look-down, shoot-down radar, capable of attacking low-flying targets. It could fly fast, hit hard, and launch from short, rugged airstrips, which was exactly what Soviet doctrine required. However, at low speeds it was unstable, and at high speeds, unforgiving. Pilots respected and feared it. Exported to Warsaw Pact nations, Iraq, Syria, and Libya, it saw heavy combat through the 70s and 80s. The U.S. Air Force had the goal to build a jet that could win every fight, every time. Twin Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines gave it Mach 2.5 top speed and the ability to climb vertically right after takeoff. In 1975, the F-15 Streak Eagle variant set 8 time-to-climb world records, including reaching 30,000 feet in just 60 seconds. It was armed with the AIM 7 Sparrow and AIM 9 Sidewinder missiles, and later the AIM 120 AM ram. The Eagle achieved more than 100 confirmed air-to-air victories worldwide without a single loss in aerial combat. dominating both the Israeli conflicts of the 1980s and the Gulf War of the early 1990s. The Su-27 flanker was developed to counter the F-15. It was larger and more agile. Its twin AL-31F engines pushed it to Mach 2.35 top speed, and its blended wing body design gave it unmatched lift and control. The Su-27 introduced fly-by-wire technology to Soviet aircraft, allowing pilots to perform impossible maneuvers like the Pugachev Cobra, where the jet suddenly pitches up to 110 degrees before recovering midair. This was less of a trick and more proof of engineering mastery. The flanker family became one of the most influential in modern aviation, spawning the Su-30, Su-33, and Su-35, each more advanced. It was built for dogfighting and endurance to patrol the vast frontiers of Soviet airspace for hours. France chose versatility with the Dassault Rafale. It was designed to replace nearly every aircraft in the French arsenal, a true omni-role fighter. It's powered by twin Snecma M88 engines and reaches Mach 1.8, pulling 9G maneuvers effortlessly. Its Spectra electronic warfare suite can jam enemy radars and dodge missiles autonomously, while its ASA radar detects targets over 200 kilometers away. The Rafale proved its worth in Libya, Mali, and Syria, and struck ground targets one moment while intercepting threats the next. Its carrier-capable variant adds even more flexibility. The MiG-31 Foxhound isn't fast, it's terrifyingly fast. It's designed to replace the MiG-25, sustain Mach 2.83 top speed, and operate above 67,000 feet where few aircraft could survive. It could even reach 80,000 feet momentarily in zoom climbs. Its Soloviev D-30F6 engines were built for long-range and high-speed patrols that allowed it to cover vast Arctic borders. The Foxhound was equipped with the Zaslan radar, the first phased array system ever mounted on a fighter, allowing it to track multiple targets over 200 kilometers away. This was an astonishing feat for the 1980s. It could shoot down cruise missiles and bombers in low orbit, with its R-33 long-range missiles. Today's upgraded MiG-31BM variants still serve as Russia's frontline interceptors, a rare Cold War machine that outruns time itself. It's not stealthy, it's not subtle, but it is one of the fastest operational fighters ever built, and one of the few that truly earned the title Foxhound. The F-22 Raptor is the culmination of everything learned over 70 years of jet design. It's about flying fast and doing it unseen. Its twin Pratt & Whitney F-119 engines allow supercruise at Mach 1.5, preserving stealth and fuel. Its radar cross-section is smaller than a marble, and thrust-vectoring nozzles give it agility that defies physics. They make it able to turn tighter and climb faster than anything before it. The Raptor integrates sensors, radar, and data fusion so seamlessly that the pilot sees the entire battlefield in real time. No other aircraft combines speed, stealth, and situational awareness like it. Only about 180 were built, all for the US, and exports are banned to protect its secrets. It represents the final evolution of speed, which is not measured in Mach numbers, but in milliseconds of reaction time and invisibility. These jets all prove that speed can be used as more than a weapon. It can be an art form that turns brute thrust into invisible and silent dominance. And yet, the chase never ends. Engineers are already sketching the 6th generation, because in the skies above, whoever controls speed controls the future. About that question from earlier, the truth is that radar stealth currently dominates because detection means destruction. As hypersonic engines improve, speed may rival stealth by reducing enemy reaction time and outrunning radar and missiles. If you enjoyed this journey through aviation history, make sure to like the video, share it, and subscribe. Because next time, we'll be back with more such interesting videos. Speed or silence? Power or invisibility? What do you think matters most in a strategic bomber? The truth is, they all answer one question: strike first and return uncaught. The B-1 and B-2 aircraft are both legends in their own leagues. And it all starts with the engines that power them, built for the same missions but standing completely apart. The United States faced a dilemma during the late Cold War. Soviet air defenses were growing faster and deadlier. The question was, what kind of bomber could survive? Some believed the answer was speed, The idea behind it was to build a bomber so fast it could outrun radar locks and missiles. That's where the B-1 Lancer was born. Others argued that speed was useless if you could simply disappear. That argument gave life to the B-2 Spirit. Both of these bombers had different philosophies but were born from fear of the same enemy. To understand how differently they breathe, we need to start with the engines that drive them. The B-1 Lancer runs on 4 General Electric F-101, GE-102 afterburning turbofan engines, each pushing nearly 30,000 pounds of thrust. They're mounted under the fuselage in plain sight. The entire system was built to push the bomber to supersonic speeds without breaking apart. The B-2 Spirit uses 4 F-118GE-100 non-afterburning turbofan engines, delivering a total of 68,000 pounds of thrust. But the twist is that you'll never actually see them. Hidden behind S-shaped ducts that absorb radar waves, its exhausts are flattened and cooled to blend heat with ambient air before it escapes. This is where both bombers literally breathe differently. The B-1 features variable geometry air intakes. As the plane accelerates, small ramps inside the intakes shift position, controlling airflow to prevent compressor stalls and maintain engine efficiency at speeds up to Mach 1.2. It's mechanical and loud, but it lets the B-1 gulp air like a racehorse that's mid-sprint. The B-2, in contrast, uses S-shaped intake ducts that are subtle and curved smoothly. They bend radar waves instead of reflecting them. These ducts also quiet the airflow before it hits the turbine blades, minimizing both sound and radar signature. Even the front fan blades are hidden, because spinning metal reflects radar like a disco ball. The result is that the B-1's intakes shout power, while the B-2's whisper invisibility. Before we move forward, here's a question for you. Which design do you think puts more strain on the engines over time? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll get back to this at the end of the video. When it comes to thrust, the B-1 is the clear powerhouse. Its engines combine for over 120,000 pounds of thrust, allowing the jet to reach Mach 1.2. And it doesn't do this empty. It does it while carrying up to 75,000 pounds of bombs, which is more than an entire World War II bomber group could haul in one sortie. At low altitude, this thrust becomes a weapon. The B-1 can race just a few hundred feet above the ground and move so fast that radar systems struggle to track it between terrain returns. It's a blur of motion that's almost impossible to shoot down in time. The B-2 plays a different game. With 68,000 pounds of total thrust, it never breaks the sound barrier, maxing out around Mach 0.95. But what it lacks in speed, it gains in efficiency and control. Its design favors smooth acceleration, quiet airflow, and perfect balance. It can hold that pace for over 6,000 miles without a refuel. The B-1 Lancer thrives low to the ground. Its engines are tuned to perform best in dense air, letting it hug terrain at 200 to 500 feet altitude, and it uses valleys and hills to hide from radar. At these levels, the engines gulp air fast and hard and sacrifice fuel economy for brute force. The B-2 Spirit, meanwhile, lives high in the atmosphere. It cruises near 50,000 feet where air is thin and drag is minimal. Its engines are optimized for long endurance and have slow rates of combustion and aerodynamic efficiency. The B-1's afterburning engines consume fuel at staggering rates. Its unrefueled range is around 7,400 miles, but real operations rely on refueling mid-air from KC-135 or KC-46 tankers. That's why the B-1 operates in tactical bursts. In, strike, out, refuel, repeat. It's designed for presence and pressure and to always stay moving and ready. The B-2's non-afterburning turbofans, on the other hand, are far more efficient. With nearly 10,000 miles of range, it can take off from Missouri, strike a target anywhere on Earth, and return home all without stopping. And it does so while remaining silent and leaving no traces. The B-1's 4 engines generate massive plumes, especially during afterburner use. In infrared, they glow like torches against the cold sky. That's why B-1 pilots often fly low using ground clutter to hide from heat-seeking missiles. The B-2's heat signature, however, is almost invisible. Its exhaust gases are routed through internal ducts and expelled through flattened outlets that blend with the cold air above. Sensors see nothing but background noise. Sound reveals position, and each bomber treats it differently. The B-1 is unapologetically loud. It has a deep, bone-shaking roar that comes from its afterburning turbofan engines. When fuel ignites in the exhaust stream, it expands violently, creating shock waves and turbulent exhaust flow. The B-2 is the opposite. Its engines and ducts are designed to suppress vibration and high-frequency noise, reducing both radar reflection and audible range. On the ground, crews often describe it as hauntingly silent. Here's something you might not think about. Engine placement affects how a bomber feels in the air. The B-1's engines are slung beneath the fuselage in symmetrical pairs. This setup gives it a central thrust line, making it more agile for a bomber of its size. Combined with its swing wings, it can maneuver smoothly at both low and high speeds. The B-2's engines, buried inside the wing, spread the thrust across its body. This gives it excellent stability but slower response to throttle changes. Every movement must be subtle to maintain stealth. The B-1 is an engineer's headache and a mechanic's masterpiece. Its afterburners, adjustable intakes, and complex cooling systems demand constant care. Heat, vibration, and stress are daily battles with routine inspections, part replacements, and recalibrations essential. The B-2's engines are simpler mechanically but harder to reach. They're so deeply embedded that technicians often need to disassemble parts of the wing just to perform inspections. Every maintenance cycle is slow and costly, with strict precision required to protect its stealth coatings and internal airflow systems. This is where technology takes over. The B-1's engine started with semi-analog controls in the 1980s and later upgraded to digital FADEC systems that manage thrust automatically. The pilot sets power while the computer handles the rest. The B-2, however, was born digital. Its engines are integrated directly with the aircraft's stealth management system. Every moment of flight, the onboard computers fine-tune exhaust temperature and vibration in real time. The result is an aircraft that thinks about stealth as it flies. Because of their engines, their missions evolved differently. The B-1 excels in fast, flexible operations and rushes into danger zones. It will drop heavy payloads and vanish before enemy radar can respond. It's used extensively in conventional warfare where speed matters more than secrecy. The B-2 is the definition of precision. It can strike at night, even right above enemy capitals, and then leave undetected. Its engines give it the freedom to choose patience over pace, making it a weapon of silence in an age of noise. Power doesn't come cheap. The B-1 costs around $70,000 per flight hour, largely because of fuel burn and engine wear. The B-2 doubles that at over $150,000 per hour, due to maintenance complexity and stealth coatings. Ironically, the quieter bomber is twice as expensive to keep quiet. The B-1's engines have seen countless upgrades with improved fuel flow, lower emissions, and extended service life. Once built for nuclear missions, it now dominates as a conventional bomber. The B-2's engines remained legends of silence and efficiency. Their stealth integration influenced every stealth aircraft since, from the F-22 to the upcoming B-21 Raider, which will merge the B-1's flexibility with the B-2's invisibility. In many ways, these engines were prototypes for the future of air power. One taught us how to master speed, while the other taught us how to erase sound. The B-1 and B-2 prove there's no single path to power. One conquers through force and fire, and the other through silence and shadow. Together, they show how engines define aircraft. About that question from earlier, the B-1's variable intakes strain engines more due to high-speed airflow and heat, while the B-2's restricted ducts reduce stress through steadier, cooler operation. If you enjoyed exploring the hidden power behind these two icons, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Would you rather fly the Thunder or become the Ghost?